Welcome. Thank you for stopping by and choosing to listen to this message for today. I want you to look at these two cards before you. You have the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, but I'll go ahead and flip it forward so you get a better, a clearer image of what this card is about. And I want you to see if you can see yourself within these two cards, if you can connect to the story that these two cards are showing you. And if you can find a connection, then more than likely this reading is for you, so please keep watching. If you can't quite see yourself or find a connection, that's okay. I'm here to clarify that for you. My name is Kimberly, and this is from Loved Ones Tarot. And this is for all my Pisces for the month of November 2024. Now, when I look at these two cards, and keep in mind, these two cards represent the underlining energy that runs throughout your heart, mind, and body, and dare I say your spirit. Whether you are aware of this or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, this energy may still exist for you for the month of November. And when I look at these two cards, for this particular reading, I get the sense of an overall desire for many of you to feel better, to do better, to be better today than you were yesterday, than you were a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago. Many of you are on a journey of self-transformation that is positive, that is healthy. It is a journey of healing, recovery for many of you. And what are you recovering from? I see a lot of emotional turmoil surrounded by painful emotions, painful experiences. So past trauma, a separation, a loss, a betrayal. And it for many of you, it involves your family. Something within your family and that has happened to you has caused a loss, a separation, a betrayal. And you could take this quite literally. You may feel as if you have many swords in your back. You have been stabbed in your back. You are at the lowest of the lowest place that you could ever be in life right now for some of you. And right now, this month is all about how to heal, how to self-transform into something positive and more healthy, how to recover from all of whatever has happened to you. And if you connected to what I just said, then this reading is for you, so please keep watching. If you did not connect, that's okay. Maybe this reading wasn't for you. That's fine. Or maybe you just weren't ready to hear the message. That's okay too. Feel free to come on back whenever you're ready. And if you're new to my channel, I like to do self-awareness readings, followed by the typical monthly outlook. If you just want a monthly outlook, that's okay too. Feel free to fast forward to this red section forward, and that will give you what you need. But if you're interested in getting validation and more understanding about yourself, here we go. You have the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords is in reverse, and how you are feeling for this month. And it looks like you have a strong desire to defend and protect what matters most to you. And for many of you that I see, you have a strong desire to protect your dreams, what you value most, your wants, your needs for this month. And yet, when you try to defend and protect what matters to you the most, it comes across for some of you as cold, as mean, as rude. There's a miscommunication with other people, most likely because of how it is coming across, because you want to defend and protect your dreams so much that now you have had to become a little more aggressive for some of you. And I'm going to draw one more card to make sure I have given you the message that you need. So one card for their emotional state. One more card for clarity, please. I'm just drawing one more card. The Hermit. So you are trying your best on this journey of self-transformation. You are really looking inward in the Hermit. You are looking inward to not only recognize and understand from your past experiences the life lessons that you needed to learn. So you're trying to reflect, evaluate your life and what you've been through in order for you to find the answers to move forward. So that's in your heart. And at the same time, you're battling some negative emotions within you that keep trying to bubble up, resurface, and that prevents you from being able to truly communicate your dreams, from actualizing your dreams, from achieving your dreams. Your communication has been somewhat lost in translation, I believe. So a part of you is trying to live by what you've learned from your past experiences, to be more mature, to be more wiser, to be more positive, more healthy. And then there's another part of you that prevents you from doing that just by the way that... Let me draw one more so maybe that can help you understand. One more card for clarity for how Pisces are feeling. The Ace of Wands. So missed opportunities. Okay, sure. So you have become the negative traits of the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, again, and the negative traits of her are just someone who cannot communicate well because they have become emotionally overwhelmed. And you have somewhat embodied her because of missed opportunities to fulfill your purpose, to achieve your dreams, to achieve your personal goals. Some missed opportunities have happened. So now, for some of you feel maybe a little bit hopeless, a little bit powerless. So you're trying to regain that power and control over your life. And it's coming out a little emotionally overwhelmed. But it looks like in your heart, you do want to do the right thing. You want to do the smart thing. You want to do the best thing for you. Well, moving on. These two cards represent your current mental state for November. So what are you thinking about? You have the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So it looks like for you that you are open. You are open to reconnecting because that energy of family, of love, and not just family, but with your community as well. So that could be friendships, it could be relationships or connections at work, with coworkers. So you're just open to receiving connections with other people, as well as you're open to whatever possibilities that can inspire you for your purpose, for your personal goals. So just you're open to inspiration of life. And yet for some of you, there may be some anxiety surrounding waiting for inspiration, waiting for connection. And for some of you, there may be some doubts that a connection, a positive, healthy connection, there's some fear that you think it won't happen for you in your thought process. Let me pull one more card for clarity. One more card for clarity for current mental state of Pisces, please. And two came out. So you have the Knight of Swords and the Chariot in reverse. So it looks like you are, if we were to take these these cards as their pictures, and that's what I like to do. That's why I like to show cards only. I want y'all to see the images that these cards create so that you are part of the process. If we were to imagine that you are the Knight of Swords, this is someone on a journey of self-discovery and of finding truth. So he is on a journey of finding the truth, finding himself, right? You are on this journey of being receptive, of being open, of having connections with other people, of finding new inspiration and passion. And yet the Chariot in reverse means that while you are charging forth on your horse to being open and connected, you do not have a clear vision of moving forward. Your determination and willpower is somewhat rocky or short-sighted. And so that leads me to think that while you are ready to be more open, there's some hesitation, right? Could there be, I'll draw one more card, although I've drawn a lot. Let me just draw one more. For the mental state of Pisces, please. Why are they hesitating? Why do they not have that willpower? If in their mind they're wanting to be more open, or they're imagining themselves as open, why would there be some hesitation for them? One card pull for clarity, please, for Pisces. I'm just pulling a card. Two more came out. Your loved ones on the other side are like, girl, we're trying to give you hints. You're just not following the story. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Oh, so you're past. You're past. Okay. So either someone has taken advantage of you, or has, because in your underlining energy, there is a separation, a loss, a betrayal for some of you. For some of you, you've been taken advantage of or been hurt in your past relationships. So while you are open to the universe, to God, to whoever, to bring forth a positive and healthy connection for you, or positive and healthy inspiration for your self-development and self-transformation, you're hesitant and you don't have the 100% determination of mind because of what happened to you in your past. So you carry with you a little bit of fear, hesitation, and for some of you, it's preventing you from truly, you may be thinking about in your mind about all the possibilities for your life, the possible changes, but in reality, it looks like you've perhaps, or just what I see in your mind, you're imagining the future, but you're not imagining the steps that it takes to get there. It's almost as if someone who imagines themselves with a big mansion, but yet they don't imagine themselves working hard, putting in those hours at work in order to get there. You're missing the middle, like the middle stage. Like you're missing the small details on how to get to that self-transformation. Moving on. The purple section represents your physical self, your actions, your behaviors. This represents what you want people to see and believe about you based on your actions. You have the Fool in reverse and the Devil. You want people to see and believe that you can outsmart the devil. Or in other words, you want people to see and believe that you can outsmart either someone in your life who was not so healthy or positive for you, or you can outsmart an environment that was not so healthy and positive for you, or a situation. You can overcome any negative situation or obstacle. Like you can find a way. So that's what you want people to believe, like that not only can you outsmart them, but you can recognize something that is not great for you, that's not good for you, it's not beneficial. and then you can overcome them or remove them out of the equation so that you don't fall for it, or that you don't crumble, or that you don't fail from being next to or being fooled by that person, environment, situation. All right. Now I'm pull one more card just in case, and just in case I forgot something. Let me see. One more card for clarity for for Pisces intention. So one more card for. So I'm just pulling a card. The Knight of Cups. Okay, your intentions. So your intentions, because the relationship, for some of you, the underlining energy is a family in reverse, meaning there could be a conflict or it could be a separation within the family, some distancing, a divorce, just a breakup, whatever it may be. You want people to see and believe that you're not going to put any more effort into a particular relationship, and probably a relationship that felt like you couldn't be yourself, or that was too controlling, you just didn't felt free. You couldn't be yourself, or you couldn't achieve all those dreams that you have in your heart that you want to defend and protect. So you want people to see and believe, I ain't going to put any more effort into people that are not beneficial, not positive, not healthy for me. I'm not going to put any more effort into a career or a job that's not beneficial for me, or a particular situation, or even your own negative patterns of behavior, negative patterns of thoughts, okay, within your mind. So you're moving forward, trying to be better, feel better, do better. What are you actually doing though? So this is what people can actually see despite your intentions. You have the Two of Cups and the Temperance. So it looks like within a relationship that you have, a particular relationship, there is some instability. There may be some conflict. There might be a cycle of negative patterns of emotions and behaviors from you, as well as from your partner. So you want people to see and believe that you're not putting any more effort into the relationship, that you're going to move on to bigger and better things, or at least just newer things. But it looks like you're still in that relationship. Let me pull one more card to make sure that I got it right. So one more card for Pisces and what they're actually doing. Just drawing one more card. The Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay, yep. Either you're still in the relationship in question, which has caused some emotional instability, some conflict and tension, some repeating patterns of behavior where you take one step forward of positivity of positive change, and then you take 2 steps back towards negativity. The Ten of Wands, if you're not still in the relationship, you have shed all responsibilities within that relationship. So you have released yourself, you released feeling obligated within that relationship. For some of you, if you could see it, my lighting is not the greatest. So some of you have truly done what you said you were going to do. You have shed yourself, you've released yourself of any obligation to a certain relationship. All right, if you're not still stuck in that relationship. Now, what is a situation that you've been thinking about that you need help with? It would show up in the red section. So in this red section represents a situation that needs to be addressed according to your loved ones on the other side. You have the Three of Cups in reverse and the Two of Swords. So it looks like you are having a hard time. If you're still stuck in a relationship that is not so great for you, that is not the healthiest, it's not the most positive, perhaps it triggers that negative pattern of behavior and of negative thoughts within you and within the other person in question. Now you're deciding, should you stay or should you leave? And you're not alone, because I've done a lot of readings for this month, and many people are struggling with this question, to stay or to leave a negative or not so healthy relationship or situation. And this could be a friendship, and it could be an environment at work, all right, or at home with a different family member. It doesn't necessarily have to be your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband or wife. It doesn't have to necessarily be that. Let me pull one more card for clarity and make sure I've given you everything you need to know for validation. One more card for the current situation that you feel that needs to be addressed. One more card, please. The Judgment. Okay, but it's in reverse. Okay, so remember I said in your underlining energy, there is some pain, there's grieving, betrayal, loss, right? That is within your heart, mind, and body, whether you're aware of that or not, or acknowledge it. Some of you have not accepted what has happened to you. Therefore, you can't move forward. Whether you choose to still remain in the situation in question or relationship in question, whether you choose to stay or not, you just have not fully accepted all that has happened. Therefore, you can't really move, which relates to what's in your mind. Remember I said in your mind, you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And the Eight of Cups is all about remaining in a place where you know you should not be, right? If you know tarot, that is what that means. Remaining in a place where you know you should not be. You know it. You just don't know how to remove yourself, to distance yourself, to walk away. And it's because you have not accepted everything that has happened to you. You don't know how to walk away yet, or you don't know how to take the next step, which again, in your mind, you see the bigger picture. You see the end result of a healthier, happier, better you, but you don't know the steps in between. Here, it's because you just haven't really processed all that has happened to you. You're not fully healed. You just can't make a decision on what your next step should be, whether to stop trying to have stop working on a relationship, stop trying to make it happy, stop trying to force positivity in, forcing other people to work with you, to share a life with, to appreciate what you appreciate, to see what you see, to focus on, perhaps you're the one that's forcing them to see life full of joy, full of positivity. Like you're the one trying to convince other people in your life to self-transform. I can't even talk. Maybe you are the one that's trying to persuade other people to do better, feel better, be better, and it's just not working out. But yet you're still with them, you're still trying. So now you have to make a choice of whether to stop doing that or not, for some of you. Anyway, moving on. Hope you understand what I just said. But what can help you with this situation? According to your loved ones on the other side, you have the Ten of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. A broken home, an unhappy home for some of you. In regards to a broken home, in regards to an unhappy home, in regards to a broken relationship, a broken friendship, a broken environment or situation, you won't ever be able to plant a seed of change, of healthy and positive change. You will never be able to plant it in soil that was rotten to begin with. And I'm and I'm sorry to say that, because I know many of you probably had high hopes, but you will never be able to. So if we flip it around so you can see, if this is you and you have a coin in your hand, and this is a coin of possibility, of great possibility, of financial success, financial stability, right? For the future, for long term. This is a long-term commitment and dedication to not only growing your future, but the future of other people. You won't ever get to be the Page of Pentacles if what the relationships, the environments that you're in are too unhealthy. If the soil is too toxic, you won't ever grow anything. All right? So what can help you is you got to recognize the effort that you put in may not even be worth it. You may have to just come clear. You may just have to accept, and which is part of what the judgment is. The judgment is about accepting what has happened. You see their arms are out wide and open. They are accepting of what has already happened, and they are ready and accepting of what needs to come and what will come. Whether they are aware of it or not, whatever it may be, whatever the angel has in store, whatever the universe has in store, it doesn't matter. They don't know, but they're willing, and they're able, and they're ready for whatever comes their way. And a lot of the underlying energy of the judgment too is people are ready, willing, and able to accept whatever comes their way, because they know in their heart that what's coming their way is meant for them, and it's what's meant for them will be good for them, beneficial to them, positive for them. It's meant for them to live in their purpose in life. And that's why they're able to open their arms. Now, because you're not there yet, I think it's because you're still trying to plant seeds into soils that are they're toxic, they're rotten. So you're not ready to truly open your arms to new things that are meant for you, that are coming your way. So I think your loved ones on the other side want you to either not decide. I don't even think they want you to decide. Why? Because you can't even. You already said you don't know. You don't know how to decide. So I think what they're saying is, you have to recognize that the seeds that you try to plant, they're not working. If you can recognize they're not working, then you can, only then can you take the next steps towards a plan for your dreams. Otherwise, you can't. There's no plan that can come into fruition for you. Moving on. I hope that made sense too. And this pink section represents the most likely outcome in the near future for this situation. You have the Judgment again, and the Ten of Cups yet again. So here's your Ten of Cups. Here's your Judgment. Did you have a Judgment over here? No, you just had a Chariot. What is going to happen? More than likely, because thankfully, beautifully, by the grace of you and the courage that you have and the strength that you have and the wisdom that you have, that's already within you, the wisdom that is already within you, you are going to most likely accept the effort, the time and effort, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual effort that you have put into an investment, whether that be your family, a relationship, a friendship, your career, whatever that wasn't working for you, you're going to realize it's not worth it. And let me pull one card to make sure I understand. One more card for the near future, please. For Pisces, what's going to happen? Just drawing a card. Eight of Cups. Oh my Lord. Don't you look at the universe. Won't they do it? The Eight of Cups in reverse was in your mind, right? Right? You don't see a way out. You're stuck, right? The near future, what is going to happen for you? Not only are you going to open your arms to accept what has happened in order to accept what will happen next, you're able to walk away. Not only are you going to be able to walk away, you're going to be able to recognize. You see the cups. There's missing cups. And these cups represent everything that brought you joy in life, or used to bring you joy, that used to satisfy you. It's represented in these cups. So it's your purpose, your goals, your relationships. You're going to walk away from that because you know that there's something missing, and there's something that you need to walk away from in order to discover what is missing. What is it that you need? A journey of self-discovery and self-transformation. So that is beautiful. That is in your near future. Most likely. Take that with a grain of salt. Take that it's not set in stone. You know, whatever you do with the information I give you, you could change things around, and I will say that for your weekly forecast, which is up here, you can change whatever happens, right? So it's not set in stone. It all depends on what you do. Moving on, in this green color, this represents the words of advice from your loved ones on the other side. It could relate to the situation at hand. It could relate to the month of November. It could just relate to your life in general. And not all 3 points of advice could relate to you or be for you, all right? But please do not despair or be offended if your loved ones on the other side do not give you the advice that you need for today. Perhaps it's just not for you today. Maybe they already given you all the information that you needed. So you could take that and go forth. You have advice number 1, 2, and 3. And advice number 1, and just ignore the other cards. They're just for me to understand. Number 1, advice number 1, you have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, it looks like for advice number 1, the only way that you're going to recover, it looks like, if there is some hesitation surrounding, because it looks like for some of you in your situation at hand, because there is a decision you have to make, either to stay or leave a situation that's not so great for you, you're never going to recover, right? This is 5 of Pentacles is all about loss, and especially financial loss, but it could be the loss of yourself, a loss of a lifestyle, a loss of your purpose, a loss of your optimism, your hope, your faith, right? So you're just in a dark place. If you want out of that, you're going to have to dig deep and look at why you're so afraid to stop trying to invest in a relationship that's not so great for you, or in a partnership or friendship, or a career that is not so great for you. You're going to have to look and see why you're so hesitant, why you're so afraid. If you get rid of something that doesn't even work for you in the first place, why are you afraid to let that go? If you want to resolve what you've lost, to regain a sense of self, regain some financial stability, regain a sense of purpose, you're going to have to look at why are you afraid to let something go that was never working for you. For some of you, that's advice number 1. Advice number 2, you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And it looks like, I'm just looking over the cards, Knight of Swords, the Emperor, and the World in reverse. Okay, advice number 1. If you're up against some opposition, some outside forces that are preventing you from moving forward, you cannot beat them. I mean, metaphorically, not literally, but you can't win, you cannot overcome these outside forces. For some of you, it's a person of power. It could be a father figure, it could be a husband, or someone with more power than you or more advantage than you. So it could be a supervisor. You will never get what you want or get them to understand you if you don't know how to communicate. And when you do communicate, if it comes across as you don't have a clear vision, if it comes across as you're too impulsive, or you're what I'm trying to say, you become overly emotional or rude or defensive or offensive, you're never going to have whoever's involved, you're never going to be able to communicate with them. Therefore, they will never understand what it is that you're trying to communicate with them. They won't know what your goal is. And because they don't know what your goal is, I mean, they can't help you. They can't help work as a team with you if you can't formulate your words correctly, if you can't get your emotions in check. So that is advice number 2. Get your emotions in check. Really formulate what you want to say to somebody. It has to have a clear plan. It has to have a clear vision of what it is that you want when you speak to whoever that you need to speak to in the near future. Or this could also represent you. You could be who you need to overcome. If you're the person that stands in your own way, you may just have to overcome yourself, your stubbornness, your short-sightedness. If you need to overcome yourself, then you're going to have to learn how to communicate with yourself. That sounds a little weird, but that is what's coming through from the other side. If you want to accomplish all that you want to accomplish, for some of you, you gotta learn how to communicate your desires a little more better. Number 3, moving on, you have the Knight of Pentacles. And it looks like for number 3, oh man, it's just echoing what has already been said. You cannot, like the Page of Pentacles, someone who has a seed of positive change, of growth, positive growth, healthy growth for the future of themselves and for the future of other people, you won't ever transform into the Knight of Pentacles. So if you were the Page right now in your situation, you haven't begun your journey yet, but you have the tools, the necessary skills, the necessary strength and wisdom to start the journey. You won't ever even take the next steps forward if you don't listen to your inner voice and listen to your intuition, that inner compass that can guide you north, south, east, west, wherever you need to go. If you don't listen to yourself, listen to your instincts and that voice inside of you. I know that seems very well, duh, but sometimes you just need to be reminded of that. Like, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. I know it. I said in your mind that you don't have a clear vision, and here you may not have the steps in the middle, but your loved ones on the other side are telling you, hey, just because you don't have a clear vision, it doesn't mean you don't have good instincts. You have good instincts. You just have to trust yourself that you know how to make the right moves, the smart moves, all right, for your next steps. That's advice number 3. We're moving on to your weekly forecast, and this is in the orange area. How can I say this? The weekly forecast can be very specific, and it can be for you, but it can also not be for you. So take this, as just a word of caution or something to take with you just in case, so that if you come against this, you know a little bit ahead of time, you're not too surprised. But if you don't like that sort of thing, you can fast forward to the yellow section. That is your word of encouragement. Something to motivate you, to lift you, to inspire you, hopefully, if you would like, towards the end. And week number 1 of November, we're already on November 1st, you have the 9 of Swords. So in this first week of November, if you haven't already experienced it for day 1 or day 2, I would say you're going to travel. So perhaps this weekend you've already decided to go ahead and go somewhere in order to ease your mind. You have the 9 of Swords, which is in reverse, but it's someone who's full of anxiety or fear or worries or concerns, or they have just life issues just floating around in their head. Their mental health is not so great. So perhaps you're going to travel in the first week in order to just gain some more clarity and to try to gain a little bit of inner peace. That one's pretty clear. I won't draw clarity for that. Yes, I will. I'm just curious. I am so sorry if this video is super, super long. One card for clarity for week number 1, please, for Pisces. Oh, that's why. Your relationship. Okay, so for some of you, if you're either your past relationship, you're thinking about your past relationship and all that has happened. So if you've already separated, you're thinking about let me just put it this way. Someone in your life that you had a relationship with, or you do have a relationship with, has had conflict or does have conflict, and it's just on your mind, right? It's just bothering you. So you're going to travel or create some distance, whether that is a physical distance, a mental or emotional distance for week number 1. That's what it looks like for you. Week number 2, the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. Okay, you're going to gain some mental clarity in week number 2 that is going to perhaps trigger those negative pattern of behaviors or negative pattern of thoughts for you. Yeah. So you're going to gain some self-awareness, some wisdom in week number 2. But it's not going to... Let me ask one more card. One more card for clarity. Why would that trigger them into negative patterns of behavior, please? The King of Wands. Oh, okay, sure. Someone else. Mental clarity about someone else. It'll trigger you. Okay. Again, dealing with someone else. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully no one comes in and prevents you from moving forward and living the best life. Let me draw one more card. Let me make sure. Again, this is not set in stone, and I don't like leaving y'all with like dun dun dun, like doom and gloom. Hold on, let me just draw one more. And forgive me if the video is really long. One more card for clarity, please, for week number 2. I'm just drawing one more card. They're like, girl, your loved ones on the other side. They're like, girl, we already gave you the King of Wands. Okay, it's a king. It's a male figure. It's a masculine energy. It's someone of power. that has more advantage than the Pisces. We already told you. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have listened the first time. So yes, it's someone who has more power than you or more advantage. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could just be someone of slightly more power who may be more a little aggressive, assertive than you. Someone. You're going to gain some clarity about them that may cause you to focus too much on the negative traits of the Queen of Pentacles, and the negative traits of her would just be you focus too much on the wrong thing. So you're not taking care of business. You're not being the best financial provider, you're not being the best caregiver, the best care leader. The best, I was trying to put caregiver and leader in the same sentence. You're not being the best caregiver or leader or emotional support system for other people in week number 2 because of your mental breakthrough. Your clarity of mind is like, oh, it triggers you about someone else, and so your life is kind of gets neglected. Your responsibilities get neglected a little bit. Moving on. Week number 3, you have the King of Pentacles in reverse. It looks like, oh, did I just not pull the king? Oh, no, I didn't. But look at all these kings. I swear, look at all these kings I've pulled. Okay, so if we could take it figuratively and literally, if you represent the Queen of Pentacles, and in week number 3, the King of Pentacles could be the person in question, the one that prevents you from moving forward and of self-development. They are going to have a little bit of miscommunication, maybe some conflict, maybe some arguing, debating with you in week number 3. So keep that in mind. Maybe try to stay cool, level-headed that week, just in case they don't see things your way. Let me draw one more card of clarity. Oh, yes. Just stay strong. Stay strong in week number 3, all right? If someone tries to agitate you or try to trigger you or get you to be on their level, which is a very low level, your loved ones on the other side say, stay strong, control your emotions, right? Just keep calm. Week number 4, you have the Chariot. I would say for week number 4... if you're going to break your patterns of behavior, your patterns of negative behavior, of negative patterns of thoughts, week number 4, you're going to be very determined to be better, to do better, to not do the same things that you're always doing. Right? I think week number 4 is very positive for you. So you're just working on yourself and working on just moving on for week number 4. So that's not bad either, I don't think. Again, all depends on what you try to do, what you're going to do after this reading. For your word of encouragement, you have the Ace of Swords, and the King of Swords is in reverse. Another king. I would say about this. I would say for your word of encouragement, what your loved ones want you to know is this. If a certain relationship has failed you, if a certain person that played a pivotal role in your life is now gone, whether that be a spouse, a partner, a friendship, or a career, so a career that had played an important part in your life, it was very beneficial. If that has left, right, and now you're left with nothing or you're left alone, just because the king is now gone doesn't mean you can't take his sword for yourself. Perhaps them stepping down, perhaps them leaving from your life was for you to be able to lift up their sword and hold it for you. That there was no space for them. They had to leave to make space for you, to fulfill your purpose, to achieve your dreams. All right, so perhaps just turn your perspective around to see that sometimes people leave for you, to make space for you to shine bright, for you to step into your purpose, for you to reach that a level of fulfillment that you've never had before. And with that, if you've gained clarity for this reading, I would like for you to subscribe, like the video, or just keep coming on back.